So first and foremost, this product is organic. And why is that important? Because we know that the underlying cause of inflammation has to do with toxicity. The more we can reduce toxins from the environment or from entering our body, whether we're eating it or putting it on our skin, the better off we're going to be. So that's number one, is everything in this product is organic. The second thing that they've done is they've used 2 liposomal ingredients, which means that they're packaged in a way that the body has the easiest and most effective way to absorb. So it's going to be most available. There's a lot of products on the market that sound great, but your body can't absorb them. So this is made in a liposomal formulation that allows better absorption of the ingredients. Okay, so let's get into the ingredients. Curcumin. Well, there's just tons of information on the internet about how these products, which are found in natural foods, right? If you're cooking, put a lot of turmeric into your food. We have put turmeric into everything. It could be in eggs, it's in our shakes. We use a ton of turmeric. I grow turmeric. It's a phenomenal product. But we know that its hallmark is to fight inflammation. What's the underlying cause of all dis-ease is inflammation. So here we have a product that is documented with tons and tons of research about how it is a great anti-inflammatory, getting to the root cause of all dis-ease. In fact, curcumin is more potent as an anti-inflammatory than non-steroidals like aspirins and ibuprofen, all those products which have horrible side effects. There is no side effect to using turmeric. Okay, next one is the glucosamine. Now, if you are using products that have glucosamine in it, go read your bottle, because a majority of the glucosamine products have hydrochloride. It'll say glucosamine HCl or glucosamine hydrochloride. That is not a bioavailable form of glucosamine. So you're wasting a lot of money and your pet is not getting the benefit that you think that they're getting. This product, we put in a glucosamine sulfate, which is bioavailable to the body. It's a natural product and it protects the cartilage. It's a chondroprotectant. So it helps to build and replace and nourish the padding between the joints. All right, which also obviously will help to reduce pain and inflammation. The third component in this product is that it is a full spectrum CBD. There are lots and lots of companies, and this is true of the pharmaceutical industry, is they find an ingredient that is in a natural food, because honestly, most of our drugs come from a natural source. And they take that one active ingredient and they go, oh, well, that's going to make the big difference. That's causing the relief of X, Y, and Z. So we're just going to harness just that particular isolate. But nature didn't put it in there as an isolate. Nature put it in there with a whole bunch of things around it. So in my personal opinion, I think a full spectrum product is going to be much more beneficial, because there's so many synergistic reactions that we don't even know about yet. All these different isolates coming together and reacting with the body in a way that we can't even imagine. So I think that is a really important part, and that's what this particular product is full spectrum. And a lot of products don't use full spectrum because it is more expensive. The next thing is that they chose to use MCT oil as its carrier. Now we know that medium chain triglycerides are really healthy, but they have their own benefits. They improve brain function, they boost energy, exercise, and endurance, helps with weight loss, lowers cholesterol, which animals do have a cholesterol problem. It lowers blood sugar, another issue for animals because we feed them these diets that are just inundated in sugar. Most pet foods that are processed have between 40 and 60% sugar. It's the carbohydrate count, which is not even listed on the bag or the can because they don't want you to know that. Another thing that MCT oil does, it helps to increase the absorption of the curcumin. So how cool is that? Then we put in organic catnip. And catnip is shown to improve digestion. We have a ton of animals that are suffering from constipation. In the past 10 years, we have seen cancer rates in animals that are higher than in humans. Dogs are now at 1.165. That's almost 100% of dogs getting cancer. Cats are said to be 1 out of 3, and I think that's an underreported number because a lot of people don't take their cats in. So we're seeing a ton of cancer and constipation. A lot of these animals aren't able to eliminate properly through their colon. They have a lot of gas and cramping and bloating, and that is one of the things that catnip is really known for as another anti-inflammatory. So that has a lot to do with the product itself, but let's talk a little bit about how the product was made. In fact, I have a blog on my website, which is pascovet.com, and it's all about how to find a good CBD product and what do you look for. So another element that I think is super important is how is it made. So this uses a CO2 extraction. It's the most expensive, but it's also the gold standard for how CBD is extracted. And the last couple points is that we have an organic hemp seed oil. The quality of the product is totally related to the quality of the ingredients. And I love hemp seed oil. I made a shake this morning. I have MCT oil in it. I have my own pet fuel, which is the same product that's on the website for the animals. I put that in my food. I take my aminos, and I take, what else did I have in there? Gosh, I had aminos, pet fuel, the fatty acids, hemp seed, goji berries. I have mulberries out of the garden, so they went in there. Bananas that I grew went in there. It was this superfood shake. Oh my God. And then I added cinnamon. Amazing. And then what we did is we chose to flavor it with chicken. This is a full real chicken product. And the palatability studies that we've done so far, we were at 100% palatability for these animals. They didn't just come over and look at it. They ran over and were really excited to eat.
Wow, man, I love that. It just made me hungry. I haven't eaten. I'm intermittent fasting, so that shake sounds amazing. This product, you know, from you and the years that you've had, it sounds absolutely amazing. I know. Can you talk about some of the things you're doing as you're, you know, in the process of starting studies, doing some clinical trials as well? Can you talk about that? Because, you know, our field likes research, and we always want to follow on kind of that. We always want to fall in line with research, so that we know what's happening with that. Can you give us a little peek into your lab with a pad and a pen there, if you don't mind?
Absolutely. So what we've done so far is we've done palatability studies. We had a limited amount of product, and we wanted to pick the product that had the best palatability with the formulation that we wanted. So that was our first objective, and we fed it to a bunch of different animals. We had 2 bowls, and we had 2 different, we kind of kept narrowing it down till we got down to 2 different formulas. And then we picked the one that had the highest palatability. That was number 1. But now that the product is launched and I'm waiting for the supply to come in, we're going to start doing some field trials. One of the things I'm going to be looking at is what is the effect that it has on the 4th phase of water. Now, this is a huge area of importance, because maybe I'll do a whole webinar one day on live blood analysis, but we look at the red blood cells, and there's a 4th phase of water that was discovered by Dr. Gerald Pollack. And I can give you guys some links to that. It's stuff you really want to be learning about, because it's really important. So this 4th phase of water surrounds all of our organelles in our cells. When it is expanded, our cells are able to separate and do their proper metabolic function. So a red blood cell's job is to go through the lungs, pick up oxygen through the surface area. Think of a tennis ball that you put under the water in the pool. And as long as all areas of that tennis ball are able to interact with the water, it's able to create an exchange. So the cell picks up the oxygen, delivers that to the tissue, and then picks up the waste products from the cell metabolism and delivers that out the organs of elimination. If those cells are stuck to each other, if they're crunched down, if they're packed together, if they're not able to separate, then intuitively they're not able to do their metabolic job as well. And that's what we're seeing. So with the studies, one of the things we're going to look at is going to be the effect that it has on the red blood cells. And I don't know what we're going to find yet, but we're going to test. A lot of the therapies that we offer, that was one of the things that we look for. Is there a physical reaction that we can see in that 4th phase of water? So the pulse electromagnetic therapies that we use, the lymphatic therapies that we use in a lot of our products are all tested to see if they affect that. Now, if it doesn't affect it, it doesn't mean it's not good. It just means that's not a measurable thing that we can look at. But I think it is going to have an effect. And then we're also going to be looking at the ability to look at pain reduction and reduction of inflammation. So we have thermography in our practice. And if we have an animal, let's say that has back pain, what I intend to do is being able to take the thermography, take x-rays, show what's going on, give the product, and then in a series of tests after that, see how long it takes, how many doses before we can start seeing a change. Now, these are the case. Oh, another one is for thermography is mobility studies. So we put the animals, we take a mat, a special mat that we put out, like a yoga mat, and then we watch through thermography how the animal walks, and we can see the difference in weight bearing. It shows up on the picture. And then we can give the product and then retest again and see, did we affect the gait? So if you've been able to reduce some of the pain, then they should be able to move differently. So we're going to be looking at that. And I got a whole bunch of other things. Now, when we have our really serious cases, this product is going to be in every protocol, because I think it is that important that we supply the body with the essential nutrients it needs. And I think that the cannabinoid system is there because we're supposed to use it. So, you know, it's going to be in every protocol that I have. So even though on some of those studies, we won't see it as a separate line item all by itself, it's going to be part of a protocol. And we're already seeing our animals, I can say this from my own personal practice, is we are seeing cancers go away. And we're seeing them go away in anywhere from 10 weeks to 16 weeks. And they have remained cancer-free for over a year. And that's how far we've been out, and they are still cancer-free. So hopefully they stay that way the rest of their lives. I think there's a lot that we're going to be able to learn as time goes on. I think that we are entering a whole new world. I hope we never go back to exactly what we had before. It was a very toxic, very consumptive world. And I think now that we have a lot more consciousness, our job as a collective in this organization should be to go out and not just inspire and encourage, but live that model. Like, we all should be growing some of our own food. I can't wait to start taking the product. I haven't taken any yet. So I'm really excited to take it myself. And it's going to be a part of my daily program as well. And be able to set the example, inspire people through who you are and what you do, and lead the way. We are the torch. We're lighting the way.
Guys, Dr. Siegel is a doctor. So let me say this to you. Our products don't diagnose, prevent, heal, treat, or cure any disease or injury. So we as non-veterinarians, not Dr. Taylor here or whomever is here on this today, Dr. Siegel is somebody that studies, researches. She is a person that brings enormous amount of value to Prime My Body, but she also to her entire world of veterinarians. She's done amazing things for that. Dr. Siegel, before you move forward, I've been asked this question because I interrupted you. My humblest apologies. What happened with the horse?
Oh, she's fantastic. She's in my backyard. I wish I could ride her more often. I don't have the time, but she is still living in my backyard and she's doing great.
Good. So she was able to continue after you figured out the protocol.
Oh my gosh. I didn't even tell you at the end of the story.
I know, I screwed it up.
I'm so sorry. Thank you. 5 months after I was told she would never be shown again, I have video and picture of this little duo winning the United States Youth National Reserve Championship. So yeah, she went on an illustrious career. I even showed her, and I won everything that I was in as well. So yeah, she's a phenomenal athlete.
Good deal. So you took your background in training and athletics, and then you put that in your own practice, and you've been doing amazing things for years. Is there anything you'd like to say to our field that may be something that you're passionate about within Prime My Body that you're going to be able to bring us, as well as maybe something about the product versus anything else that's out there? Maybe those two questions real quick.
This is really a unique product. And I was very honored that my opinions actually mattered. And that's really rare to come into a company. Usually these companies are already preset what they're going to do. They got their budgets, they got their mindset. No, they really listened and they said, I really want to know if you could develop something, what would that look like? And this particular product was designed for wellness and for comfort. I think those are terms we're allowed to use, right? And so that was that particular product. There will be other products coming down the pipeline, I assure you. And we're really excited to be a part of that. So number one is that the integrity and the quality of these products are amazing. So I'm really, really excited for that. It does set itself aside. I'm approached by a lot of companies. I've done product studies for all kinds of different products, including some other hemp products. And as soon as they tell me how they're making their product or they're not willing to do organic, I just tell them we're not a fit. And this one was a fit. So I'm really excited about that. Can I go back to one thing? I really want to make this point is, here I'm talking about curing cancer and stuff like that, because that's what I do for a living. But I'm going to ask every member of this community, please, please, please do not tell people that this product will be the end all be all for their pet. You've got to get a good diagnosis. So I'm going to encourage you, if somebody comes to you and says, my pet has a challenge, yes, put them on the product, but insist that they find a good integrated veterinarian to be able to work up that animal and get a good diagnosis. Otherwise, we're doing the opposite of what we want to do, and we're causing harm instead of causing good. And this is something I've seen my entire career is massage therapists come out or chiropractors come out and they're going to work on animals and they're not veterinarians and they don't get a diagnosis. And they ultimately end up missing or misdiagnosing, and then that animal is delayed from getting the proper care. So if nothing else that I said today gets across, it's that our jobs are to encourage our pet parents to get good medical attention and use this as an adjunct tool in the toolkit to help these animals feel better and to have a more thriving lifestyle.
Super, super. Just reading a couple of the comments. So you feel like this is a home run. You feel like we, in all your years of practice, we've created the first home run, because you're going to bring us number 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 with your help. Yeah. But PAWS 1.0 is a home run.
Yeah. It was a full home run.
I love it. I love it. Is there anything, any complications with allergies, anything like that? I've had a couple of questions about that people have hit me with.
So an allergy is a symptom, right? And a symptom is simply reflecting that there is a problem in the body. We don't blame anything. That's Western medicine. We name it so we can blame it and then we can have a treatment for it. In the world that I'm going to take you to, we look at a symptom as a piece of communication. If your dash light on your car came on and said, check under the hood, there's a problem, you wouldn't unplug the light and go, look, the problem's gone. You would go find out what the problem is. And that's what symptoms are for us. It's the body communicating that there is something not right. And now we can go figure out what that is. And once you fix it, it doesn't exist anymore.